Aliens?
Aliens.
Yes. But maybe no. Ayo! Welcome back to the show. Aliens, yes, but maybe no. With Josh and Travis. I'm Travis.
I'm Josh.
And this is an otherworldly podcast as ambiguous as our title.
So,
I know what you're going to ask.
this is our first real episode that is remote.
Wait a second.
We did the congressional UAP.
Yeah, the UAP hearings.
Yeah, that was a real one, but it was kind of like a special. It wasn't our normal.
It wasn't an episode, like
Yeah.
capital E episode.
Correct. So, yeah, Travis moved. I miss my little buddy.
It did. Hundreds of miles away.
Yeah, too many hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be the first real one. You guys probably won't notice that much of a difference because Travis and I, before we started this, used to talk on the phone every day for hours. So we're used to technological communication.
Yeah.
He was my work husband.
I was. And you were my work wife.
Oh,
And or husband. Husband? I mean, this is 2025, Travis. Grow up.
yeah.
Grow up.
We don't need to label it.
Josh can be my husband, too.
Yeah. Do you remember our last one that we did live? What episode we did?
Oh, God, no. No. That was weeks ago. Months, even.
Yeah, we did it like a month ago.
Like in August.
Which means we're also closing that gap of when we record to the release. So
Mhm.
our records are going to be a little bit closer than the 6 months that it was, which will be nice because we
Yeah.
won't run into any information changes.
Mm-hmm. So to timestamp it, as of this recording, Ley Lines is our most recently released episode.
And today, Taylor Swift just dropped her newest album.
Yeah, so we can't really release anything today. Nobody's going to listen to it.
Yeah.
It's going to be all TS.
I was going to release my album today. And
Oh, it wasn't yours called Show Boys.
yeah, I was going to come out with Showboys. Yeah. It was bad timing.
So to put another timestamp on this, I think that this needs to be talked about.
Uh-oh. What?
We survived the rapture
Oh, that's right. There was a rapture.
last week.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, we survived that, or we were left behind.
Well, we survived it. Either way, we're here. We left behind and survived.
I guess that's true.
So I guess thank you, listeners, for being a bunch of sinners and being here to listen to the show.
Thank
I appreciate it.
I actually looked before I asked you what our last topic was. It was Valiant Thor.
Oh, that's a good one.
It was a good one.
I still remember it.
And all real. No, that one, we both kind of agreed this probably didn't happen.
Well, it was like a rip off of Stranger in a Strange Land, the Robert Heinlein novel.
Yeah. That was a surprise to me. You at the very end, you dropped some hot goss.
So I did. That's what they call me, Travis Bomb Dropper Right.
I thought that was a poop thing.
Why not both?
Oh,
It can be both.
okay. Yeah, you're right. So today we're actually going to be doing something very big. It was actually, the topic was so big that it was hard to do research. I mean, I did research, but there's so much, it was kind of overwhelming.
I agree. There's a lot. So we're going to probably just glaze over the top, give you like our own AYBMN version of it. Aliens, yes, but maybe no version, right?
Yeah, we're not going to deep dive. We don't even like the term deep dive.
No, it sounds gross.
We're doing a kiddie pool float,
Like a foot soak.
toe soak.
That's about how deep we're going.
Yeah, so this one, we are doing the Majestic 12.
Get ready.
I had heard about this, I think from Jordan a long, long time ago. It always intrigued me. You know, thinking and hearing about all these things happening, it's like, who's in charge of all this stuff and these decisions, and who's showing up and taking video footage or covering up all this stuff? And potentially it is
These guys.
these guys, the Majestic 12. So this is the Majestic 12 story.
Mm-hmm.
In December of 1984, Jamie Shandera, a Hollywood television producer, opened his mailbox to find a mysterious envelope.
Isn't this where it always starts?
What?
TV? Isn't this kind of your big thesis? Is that aliens are slowly leaked leaked to media companies so that we all get used to the idea of aliens?
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that.
This just kind of reinforces your thesis a little bit. Did they send it to a TV producer?
This was just a producer that was already kind of working in the UFO topics. He was working with other people, but this guy got an envelope.
Don't discredit your big idea, Josh.
I didn't even get through one sentence of my introduction.
You got to the comma.
So, should I start over?
No, keep going. God, you coward.
So this Hollywood TV producer, he opens his mailbox and finds a mysterious envelope.
Mhm.
There was no return address, and inside was a roll of 35 millimeter film. Curious, Shandera developed the film, and what he saw,
That you would have, like, your curiosity would have to be through the roof to do that. Don't you think?
yeah,
If somebody just sent me a roll of film, don't you think that'd be terrifying? No address, nothing on it?
I'd be super scared.
I don't know if I'd have the fortitude to look through it.
And when he developed it, when the negatives started coming forward, I mean, his fear was probably worth it.
Yeah.
Because as he unspooled it, it looked like top secret government documents.
I would say, having seen that, I would be like, oh, thank God.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not witnessing a murder or worse.
That's true. Old man, full frontal selfies.
Oh, man, you'd never be able to get those images out of your head.
No.
And
Nope.
that you have a physical copy of it.
So he develops this 35 millimeter film. At the top of the first page, it reads, top secret, magic eyes only.
And can you spell magic for us?
Magic is spelled MAJIC,
So an idiot sent this to him.
or a spy. It's top secret.
A dumb spy.
And I heard magic eyes is actually like 2 levels above top secret, which I didn't know there. I thought top secret was the top. That's why they have top.
Wait, what's above top?
The tippy top secret.
It's like saying you have 110% of the information. Like, how do you have more than 100%?
I don't know.
You can.
But you can.
There's a thing that I read, and this blew my mind. It's called the infinite hotel theory, and that is, imagine an infinite number of hotels.
Okay.
And then every single room is full. But if you have an infinite number of hotels, that means if somebody wants to check into this hotel, there should be room. There's infinite numbers, but that infinity is infinity. So all rooms are full. So what you have is infinity plus 1. And then you can go from there. So infinite doesn't always really mean infinite. That you can have infinite infinities.
Yeah, because there's things beyond infinity. Wherever you're at,
Mhm.
there is something more.
If you think about like prime numbers, an infinite number of prime numbers is the same as an infinite number of numbers.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's infinite. How does that even make sense? Because prime numbers are not all of the numbers. That makes sense?
Yeah. Well, this is that. They are above the top.
So you can have higher than top,
So
I guess.
the title of this document was Eisenhower Briefing Document, and it dated November 18th, 1952. The briefing was addressed to President Dwight D. Eisenhower, prepared by Admiral Roscoe H. Hillenkoetter, the first director of the CIA. And the contents was a crash recovery in Roswell, New Mexico.
Have we heard about this?
Yeah, we did a whole episode on it. In our episode, we didn't talk about what this document is mentioning, which is extraterrestrial biological entities.
We got a new term.
Yeah, an EBE.
Mhm.
And the formation of the secret group known as Majestic 12. That's what this document is. So if this was authentic, this was a leak of staggering proportions. Proof of a secret committee managing Americans' UFO secrets since 1947. And if it was fake, it was an elaborate, which elaborate is an understatement, hoax meant to confuse, distract, and send researchers chasing shadows. Either way, the envelope that was in Shandera's mailbox set off one of the most enduring controversies in UFO history.
Which is saying a lot because there's a lot of enduring controversies in this area.
Yes, there is. And this deals with most of it. You know, this is an organization that has their fingers in all the pies.
So when does the story begin, Josh?
1947.
Mhm.
9 flying objects over Mount Rainier. Kenneth Arnold.
You read that in the exact right order.
This is when it sparks national UFO craze. The UFO is the hot topic, which we did an episode on Kenneth Arnold.
Correctamundo, like early on.
Yeah, and from memory, I think we
don't need to rehash our thoughts. If you're interested in what our thoughts were, go back to our Kenneth Arnold episode.
Yeah. So a few weeks later, Roswell crash happened. This was July 1947. Kenneth Arnold's was June 1947. So as we talked about in our Roswell episode, The initial press release was that the Army force recovered a flying disc. And then the next day, they retracted it, said it was a weather balloon.
Classic.
Yeah, it's always the weather balloons. Later, the Air Force admitted that this was actually a cover story for Project Mogul, the balloon program to detect Soviet nuclear tests. And I was reading some comments, some people commenting on what their grandparents were saying that lived in Roswell at the time, is that they had weather balloons all the time, weather balloon retrieval forces, and the people that showed up for this Roswell incident are not the people that show up for a weather balloon. This was full force, military gunners, and people all over the town. This was a high priority situation. So the recovery details, according to the Majestic 12 document, says that it was not just debris, but alien bodies, small human-like beings, and one survivor supposedly was kept alive.
This is wild. This is really wild.
Yeah, and this is in the document. In that 35 millimeter roll was 8 pages, and this is in the 8 pages.
How do you think they did that? How do you keep an otherworldly being alive?
Just candy.
I thought Reese's Pieces, but I think we're
Was
on
it
the same
Reese's?
page. Yeah. For ET?
Okay. So yeah, this was where you see the EBE, the extraterrestrial biological entity, where they supposedly kept one alive. And then information from the EBE later was compiled into the so-called Yellow Book. So
This is wild.
this whole thing, I mean, it's so big. When I was doing research, this 8-page document with the cover letter, top secret, magic eyes only, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, when I went on Internet Archives, there are so many documents that mention this. There's like 160 different documents, and each document had many pages, some just a few, but it is a very large thing. But here's the creation of Majestic 12. So documents claim President Harry Truman signed a classified executive order on September 24th, 1947. The purpose of the order, to form a permanent group to handle UFO recoveries and alien encounters, who answers directly to the president bypassing Congress, which is wild to me. That the presidents were, it's hard for me to think that some of the presidents in modern day, were basically since I've been alive, had a part in this. I mean, some of the older guys, I don't know. They seemed a little more rambunctious. I can't say it.
Have you not ever heard this word before?
No, I have.
This is wild. This is fun.
I just can't say it.
Rambunctious.
Yeah, they're a little more wild and gritty.
That's like the Porky Pig approach to a word. You say it a bunch of times and then you just come up with something much simpler.
Yeah. So here are the alleged members of this Eisenhower briefing document. So we have Admiral Roscoe H. Hillenkoetter. He's the CIA's first director.
1.
Dr. Vannevar Bush. He was a Manhattan Project scientist.
Whoa. 2.
Good at keeping secrets. Secretary of Defense, James Forrestal.
3.
General Nathan Twining, Air Force Material Command.
4.
General Hoyt Vandenberg, Air Force Chief of Staff.
5.
Dr. Detlev Brunk, he's a biophysicist.
Best name on this whole list. 6.
Dr. Jerome Hunsaker, he's an aeronautical engineer.
7.
Sidney Sowers, former Director of Central Intelligence.
8.
Gordon Gray, National Security Advisor.
At 9.
Dr. Donald Menzel, Harvard astronomer later accused of being a disinformation agent.
At 10. Okay, now we have 2 more.
Yeah, General Robert Montague, Sandia Base Commander.
Okay, he's 11th.
And then Dr. Lloyd Berkner, he's a physicist.
Okay, so we had 12 for a while, and then we didn't when we had 11 for a couple years.
Yeah, and then later General Walter B. Smith replaced Forrestal after his death. And I think Forrestal died under weird circumstances.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, he was relieved of his duty, went to the hospital, wasn't allowed visitors, trying to get out. He was taking lots of journal notes and everything, and then they found him hung. They say he hanged himself. A very Epstein-style situation.
All right.
But, I mean, they say it was him, but they actually, looking at his journals, it looked as though he was in the middle of writing something, so he was interrupted, which is interesting. So he died, and then General Walter B. Smith took his place as number 12. So these are the guys.
Those are our players.
These are the big hitters. These are the guys that were controlling everything. It wasn't until all of them were no longer living that the document was released to this producer, this Hollywood big shot.
So, looking at Forrestal's wiki page, he decided to resign, but was shattered when Truman, who was president, asked for his resignation. So he submitted his letter of resignation, and then his condition, like his depression, steadily deteriorated.
So they say.
He's reported to have gone into a daze, flew to a new Navy airplane. Kansas consultant diagnosed severe. So he was diagnosed with severe depression, what they saw a lot in operational fatigue during the war. So you can take all this stuff out. I'm just interested now that you brought it up.
This whole thing is interesting.
It said he fell from his window.
Oh.
Didn't say what had caused the fall, nor to make any mention of a bathrobe sash cord that had first been reported as tied around his neck. The full report was released by the Department of the Navy in April 2004.
Sounds like a cover-up to me. Like if you're part of tippy-top secret program, then all of a sudden you're relieved of duty and you are sent to a hospital, and then shortly after
he checked himself in.
But then he couldn't check himself out and he wasn't allowed to receive visitors. It's suspicious for sure. So like I was saying, that there's so much to this Majestic 12. What was released was this 8-page document, but there's also in the 8 pages a page solely about attachments. Like I said, a ton of stuff. The 8 pages mainly talked about Roswell and some different crashes, but as you dig deeper and deeper, you can get a whole bunch of different stuff. There is attachment A through H on here. Some of the things we were able to find were like contacts and treaties with non-humans. 1953, astronomers reportedly detect large objects approaching Earth. Project Sigma claims to intercept alien radio signals.
Don't you love that name? Project Sigma?
Yeah. Another one, Project Plato, 1953 to 1954, arranges alleged face-to-face contact with human-looking aliens who warn against other visitors and offer spiritual guidance in exchange for nuclear disarmament. So that maybe a peacekeeper, one of our alien races, maybe a peacekeeper showed up and was just like, hey.
Yeah, one of our battle alien buddies.
Yeah.
I wondered what their spiritual guidance was. Like, what could they have offered in exchange for us to decide to not use nukes in whatever situation is being set up here?
And would our top officials and military, would they be interested in spiritual guidance?
Yeah, that's the question.
I mean, obviously they didn't do it.
Yeah.
Well, we still have our nuclear everything.
We didn't evolve into, nuclear holocaust. So maybe.
Yeah. In 1954, Edwards Air Force Base, President Eisenhower allegedly meets with a large-nosed gray and signs a treaty allowing limited abductions in exchange for secrecy and advanced technology. Interesting.
What does that mean?
We got advanced technology and we're limiting how much they abduct people, which is super creepy.
Yeah.
And then 1954, the Gray's ambassador is introduced as an omnipotent highness krill, though insiders call him original hostage krill.
This is wild.
Yeah, And these are all in documents strung out through everything.
So he went to omnipotent and most high to now a hostage?
Yeah, original hostage krill. And in 1955, the treaty appears broken. Reports surface of human and animal mutilations, missing abductees, and suspicions that the Greys are taking more than allowed. Ooh. And then the aliens' explanation, the Greys claim their genetic structure is failing and these actions are necessary for survival, though officials remain highly skeptical. So the large-nosed Grey person that met with Eisenhower.
I don't like that description. I don't know what it is.
Large-nosed Grey?
Meant to invoke.
I don't know. That was what
I know
they described them as.
But like
the other thing is, I just assumed Greys didn't have noses. So now we got some Squidward motherfucker showing up making treaties about abducting people for advanced tech. So these are just a few of the wacky, crazy things that are in the world of the Majestic 12 and what they've been dealing with. There was an evolution. So the Majestic 12 story didn't end in 1947. Over the decades, the group was said to evolve under different names depending on the administration. So Eisenhower and Kennedy, it was Special Group or the 5412 Committee.
Mm-hmm.
Johnson, it was 303 Committee. Nixon and Carter was the 40 Committee, and Reagan was the PI 40 Committee. But regardless of the label, the claim is that 12 men Half top government officials, half elite insiders from groups like the Council of Foreign Relations and the Trilateral Commissions were quietly directing America's UFO policy from the shadows. One of the boldest allegations is that Eisenhower created a secret White House fund in 1957. Officially, it was earmarked for presidential emergency sites in case of nuclear wars, but UFO researchers claim the money was actually used to build more than 75 underground facilities, many of them designed for alien cooperation. So according to the conspiracy, Majestic 12 and the CIA even cornered parts of the illegal drug trade to funnel profits into these black projects. Basically, they're just doing anything to get funding for these things.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it came to the technology, the desert became the testing ground. At Groom Lake, which is a creepy name, later known as Area 51, Project Red Light was launched to test fly recovered alien craft. The results were disastrous, with repeated crashes and explosions, leading to the project's cancellation in 1963. To cover for these incidents, the Air Force rolled out Project Snowbird, showcasing experimental aircraft to explain away sightings of strange objects. And weapons research was also on the table. So there's Project Joshua, best name yet.
Best name ever.
Yeah, it explored using low-frequency sound waves to disable alien craft.
Classic Josh.
Which I've heard that in the world of espionage, that is also something. And then Project Excalibur aimed to create a nuclear-tipped missile capable of destroying alien bases buried 1,000 meters underground. I mean, those are both sci-fi things, but they're real. And then there's the most infamous claim, the Dulce incident. In 1969, rumors spread of a firefight between U.S. forces and resident aliens inside a New Mexico underground base. 66 people were said to have been killed before the U.S. finally pulled back from their joint project for nearly 2 years. So these stories suggest a picture of America during the Cold War digging underground bases, experimenting with alien craft, and building weapons for interplanetary arms race. And whether it's real or not, this is the narrative that the Majestic 12 has become part of, and why this is such a big part of the UFO lore. And they're not just dealing with UFO stuff. I mean, I think that's the main purpose, but they're dabbling in everything around the entire world. And it is creepy, and it's probably still going on. I imagine it's not over, right? Like when these people are finally all passed away, then that was that.
I mean, maybe. Do you think there's still a Majestic 12 sitting around?
It's possible. I mean, yeah.
You do? Do you think it's still 12?
I mean, it could be 16.
Do you think it's 16? 24?
It could be
36?
24. I think that's too much. 36 is way too much.
Yeah. Too many people to control.
Yeah.
Want to keep your group tight. I think 16 is too much.
12 is a lot. But I think there's still definitely a small group of elite people in charge making the calls and the shots for this and other things. You know, I think it leaks over into multiple different categories of the world. So that was it. That was all Majestic 12 did. They just talked to aliens, made treaties.
Sold drugs or seized money from drugs. Like that whole part was fucked up.
Yeah. And then they built underground bases and made weapons, broke treaties.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's wild. But that's it. That's all they did.
Yep. That is all they did. Okay. End of the podcast.
Yep.
Okay. So there's a lot of disinformation that was sent out and then an attempt to control that disinformation. So as the Majestic 12 story grew, so did the claims about how the group controlled information. According to the conspiracy, secrecy wasn't just about locking documents in a vault. It was about shaping public perception, misleading UFO researchers, and even manipulating society at large. So this kind of falls in line with what you talk about all the time, Josh.
Yeah, they're changing the narrative.
Changing the narrative.
Yeah.
One of the main allegations is that the Majestic 12 orchestrated disinformation campaigns. The most famous example is the very thing that made them a household name, the MJ-12 documents themselves. Some researchers argue these papers were deliberately leaked with errors built in, things like forged signatures or wrong typeface, so they could later be debunked. Mixing genuine information with fakes, the idea was to send investigators in circles, chasing ghosts while the real program stayed hidden.
I hate that.
Like gaslighting. So UFO researchers like William Moore and Richard Doty later admitted to participating in these campaigns, spreading fake documents and stories to throw the community off the trail. This makes Majestic 12 unique among UFO conspiracies, not just a tale of secrecy, but of active deception.
Yeah.
This group is also tied to larger contingency plans for managing both UFO secrecy and the public at large. So they used population control in 1957. A symposium allegedly warned Earth would self-destruct by 2000. This led to alternatives 1, 2, and 3, venting pollution into space, building underground cities, or colonizing the moon and Mars. All three included population control measures like sterilization or deadly microbes.
Ugh.
So these are just ideas, right? They didn't actually try to control the population.
I think they're ideas. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea what they are doing or were capable of.
I mean, I know the government did sterilize groups of people.
Yeah.
That was an idea that was put forth, and then Hitler took those ideas and put them into action.
And this just goes into like they dabble not just in UFO stuff, but maybe correlated to the UFO extraterrestrial world, they were making decisions that didn't necessarily and or have contingency plans written up that didn't have anything to do with UFOs or extraterrestrials.
The world didn't self-destruct in the year 2000, but we did have a big scare in 1999.
Oh, Y2K.
Y2K.
Yeah.
That was tied more to like the way technology documents time, though,
Right.
than it was about aliens. They thought that it was going to roll over to the 1900s and all of our financial institutions were just going to fall apart.
Yeah. They thought that was the end of all technology because it was going to roll over like an odometer and it would just reset.
Yeah. Okay. So there was a bit of media preparation. This is, again, falls in line with what we talked about at the top of the show.
Yeah.
Hollywood movies, TV, and radio dramas about UFOs were said to be a part of a conditioning effort, softening the public for eventual disclosure. This makes you sound less insane, right, Josh?
Yeah. They worded it a little bit better than me. But yeah, I mean, I've mentioned this before on the podcast.
Well, they've got a whole team of people
That's
to put this
true.
together. You just have you and your brain.
Yeah.
So it's not fair. You're at a disadvantage.
Yeah, just talking about a lot of these things, like dimensional beings, I know that because of TV and movies.
Yeah.
And they've been slowly training us and getting us to know all this information. So when they do drop it, it's not them trying to explain what it is. We already know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yep. So there was also some domestic manipulation. Some claims go further, accusing the MJ-12, Majestic 12, of intentionally fueling drug trafficking and even staging violent incidents to push Americans toward disarmament and greater government control.
Checks out.
Yeah, it totally checks out.
Yeah.
Martial law scenarios and the darkest versions, plans like Rex 84 prepared for suspending the Constitution and rounding up dissidents into concentration camps in the event of national chaos or alien confrontation. This is too real, considering what is going on right now.
Yeah.
Where people are actually getting rounded up. We moved to Oregon, and that is what is happening in Portland. Is the National Guard has been sent in to just almost create problems where there aren't problems. There's a lot of disinformation going on, misinformation that's being sent around. Videos of what allegedly is happening in Portland are from like 5 years ago during the BLM movement riots that were happening all over. And those videos are just recirculating and they're calling Portland a war zone. We were just in Portland and there's nothing going on there. Nothing.
Yeah, it's hard for me to keep track of everything. You know, there's so much disinformation that honestly, it's gotten to the point where I don't believe anything, which could be what they want. Definitely separation and divide. I think that is a big theme of all of it is just separate and divide, pit us against each other. Then they have complete control as well as they can do whatever they want. And we're so distracted that we don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
So in this telling, Majestic 12 wasn't just a secret committee studying UFOs. It was an invisible hand shaping society itself, using fear, media, and manipulation to control the story of extraterrestrials and, by extension, the future of humanity. So again, like we talked about, that's kind of what we're seeing now without the alien element of it. So it's like they saw this playbook and they're like, well, it kind of worked then, but not really because people were still, I mean, they weren't as distracted, like you were saying, as they are now.
Right.
Because it's easy to pull this kind of stuff off if you've got this dopamine hit in your pocket that has all the information in the world at like the touch of your fingertips. Like it's so easy to get that dopamine hit by just pulling your phone out and scrolling around online.
Yeah.
Either through social media or just the internet in general.
We do get these little dopamine hits when you do that and you have like an urge to scroll.
It's like gambling. If you start buying scratch offs and you do okay and you start to win a little bit, it's that same sort of feeling. But now we get little doses of it all during the day and anytime we want.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving right along. So we've talked a little bit about some of the disinformation that's been out there. There's also a debate authenticating that the Majestic 12 exists. The Majestic 12 story has always lived in a strange space between revelation and hoax. From the moment Jamie Shandera developed the roll of film in 1984, researchers and skeptics have argued over whether the documents are genuine leaks, deliberate fakes, or a mix of both.
Mm.
So there are some arguments against. President Truman's signature on one key memo looks identical to a signature from an unrelated letter suggesting a cut and paste forgery, which cut and paste wasn't a thing then. Cut and paste is more of like a Microsoft development.
Well, I think the cut and paste forgery was a literal cut and paste.
They cut it and then glued it on.
I think cut and paste, they got that term from cutting and pasting documents.
I guess that makes sense, Josh. All right, shut up.
Okay.
You're very smart. The typeface on the so-called Truman memo came from a Smith Corona model that wasn't even manufactured until the 60s, over a decade after the memo's date.
Interesting.
So that is interesting too. That's like a physical tell.
And it was on a typewriter that didn't exist yet.
There's a website, Cinema Sins. They are single-handedly just ruining film criticism by pointing out a bunch of anachronistic things. Anachronistic means not part of that time. So like, we'll say like, well, that bumper on that car that you used wasn't even invented yet.
I enjoy most anything I watch because I don't care about any of that.
Yeah, I just get caught up in the story.
Yeah.
But I think that's pretty interesting that this typeface wasn't even used at the time.
Well, and it shows that people that were authenticating this, they were doing their due diligence and looking at everything.
Yep. The Eisenhower briefing document references an executive order number that doesn't match historical records. But if this is a clandestine operation,
right, it's not going to be there.
It may not. Perhaps the most damning, UFO researcher William Moore, who we referenced earlier, admitted in 1989 that he had knowingly spread disinformation, much of it connected to the MJ-12 papers, in cooperation with intelligence contacts.
So he leaked the MJ-12 papers or created them.
But he was part of that disinformation movement.
Right. And that's the hard thing with these people is like, is he part of M12, leaking documents about M12 and then saying that it's all so convoluted. That's what's so useful on their part about this disinformation is that you end up not trusting anything and then not knowing what is real and what is not.
Yeah, you're just running circles around it.
Yeah. So that could have been a Majestic 12 operation to release the Majestic 12 documents to confuse everyone.
Yeah.
And purposely make it down to the typeface where that would be flagged, but some of it could be real.
And that's what gets us into this very thing called the limited hangout theory, and that suggests the documents may be a blend of real leaks and deliberate fakes, offering plausible deniability while still letting some truth slip out.
That's true.
Some MJ-12 documents in the FBI's archives are still partially redacted, raising the question of why a supposed hoax would require classification.
Kind of weird.
Research also points to the fact that Majestic is a real NATO classification level, meaning the term itself isn't just science fiction, which we talked about at the top of the show.
Mm.
And despite decades of criticism, prominent ufologists like Stanton Friedman defended the documents for years before finally conceding near the end of his life that they were likely forgeries. So the authenticity debate is what keeps Majestic 12 alive. If the documents are fake, they are among the most sophisticated hoaxes in UFO history, ones that fooled or fascinated serious researchers for decades. If they are real, they represent the single biggest leak of classified material about extraterrestrials ever to reach the public. Either way, they have shaped the way people talk about Roswell, UFO secrecy, and the possibility of a hidden government pulling the strings.
Yeah, man. Overall, this is a huge topic. We can't touch everything.
We'll probably go back and do a little more deep diving as we get, a little better at this.
Yeah.
And get a little more knowledge in the old brain box. Some of the stuff starts to sink in.
Yeah, because, we're just learning some of these people's names, but the documents exist. We just don't know if they're real or not.
Yeah.
There's a lot of evidence that it isn't.
Yeah, there's just so much because it was all of this information we had came on a roll of film and there's no way to authenticate it.
Yeah, there was actually a second roll of film that was sent to Don Berliner, an aviation journalist in 1994. And it was actually the same kind of thing. It was dated April 1954, and it was a field guide instead of just like a memo or a briefing. And it said Majestic 12 Group Special Operations Manual, Extraterrestrial Entities and Technologies Recovery and Disposal. And then it said Top Secret, Magic Eyes Only. So, I mean, there's just tons of these different documents. And this kind of goes into like the procedural things and what to do if there's electromagnetic something happening while you're doing a retrieval. Like it goes into deep, deep science and how you're supposed to navigate random different situations. It's all wild. And part of the disinformation thing too. So Harvard was taking a whole bunch of photographic plates of space, of Mars and the moon and the stars. And Dr. Menzel, he went and destroyed 150,000 of these plates. And then after doing that, he prevented Harvard from collecting more data. And Harvard now describes that period of time where they weren't allowed to collect data as the Menzel gap. And it lasted 15 years. So it wasn't just disinformation. It was controlling the narrative or hiding things. And this is all real, these things. And we're fine with it. We're just looking at our phones.
I mean, that's what I do.
That's what I do too. In conclusion,
Mhm.
aliens, yeah. I
This
mean,
doesn't-
I think so. I think some of it is real.
This doesn't influence my idea towards aliens. Like that is my barometer for this podcast. Does it move my own personal needle over into the aliens camp? And this does not do that for me. There's just too many questions about this. I'm sure that there's a secret organization, just because. Why not?
It doesn't give proof that aliens are real, but it does give proof that something is being hidden and there is disinformation. And that proof, along with a lot of the other things out there, that is proving that there is something there, that there is definitely something going on. And a lot of people are working to hide it, to misinform about it. And that alone is like, something's there.
Something's there. But again, like, I don't, and we're still so early on. Have any of these people been interviewed or talked to since these documents were released? Do we know for sure that they were part of something?
So the documents were released after they all were no longer alive, but there were still people in power that worked with them that, like Doty, the people that were basically part of the disinformation program. That's the troubling part, is you can't trust them.
Well, sometimes like presidential files will be sealed and they won't be released until either after a president's dead or after a certain time. So I don't know if they're, I guess that would be my question. Not just to you, Josh, but to the listener. Is there presidential information that had been sealed during the Truman and Eisenhower administrations that maybe shed some light on the
Tell us, let us know.
MJ-12, Majestic 12?
Yeah,
And is magic really spelled with a J?
it is in this end.
I don't know.
So Majestic 12 is one of those stories that spans modern UFO history, like from the beginning. It begins with Roswell, carries through the Cold War, and bursts into public view in the 80s. Some believe it's still going on to this day, some, as in me. But for skeptics, MJ-12 is a textbook case of disinformation. So whether it's fact or fabrication or a mix of both, the MJ-12 story has become a reminder of how much we don't know and how easily the truth blurs into urban legend. So let us know what you think. We definitely want feedback. Feedback is gold in the podcasting world. We definitely want questions. If you want to know more about Travis and his personal life, I will freely give that out.
If you want to know about Josh's potty behavior, I will give more of that info out.
If you want to find out how Travis knows that, you could do that and then let me know, because I want to put a stop to that.
I'll never reveal my secrets.
Yeah, you can get a hold of us through our fan mail. It's a link in our show notes in every episode. You can just click on that and you can just text us from your phone. You can rate and review, or you will rate and review us. And then aliens, yes, but maybe no at gmail.com. That's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long one, but it's real. And we're going to have other links in the show notes, kind of showing some of the stuff that we talked about today and some resources where you can start your own investigation. Because like we said, this was just a foot soak.
Putting our feet in a foot bath.
We did finally get our first fan mail, which was great.
We got our first fan mail a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, from you
You're welcome.
during a recording of us begging for something.
No, it was just begging for someone to say hi.
Yeah. This one says, "Hey guys, I really enjoy the podcast. Y'all are hilarious, and I love the balance between both perspectives. Keep up the great work." Thank you. I want more of that.
Keep it up. We'll read your reviews on the pod.
Whatever you want to say.
Whatever you want to send. Unless you don't want us to read it. And then you would probably want to specifically say, please don't read this on the show.
Yep.
Okay, so the next part of our segment, this is what, Josh? What do we do at the end of the show?
I usually leave the room and cry for a quick 2-3 minutes.
I do what's called a pre-cry, where just a little bit leaks out, knowing that a quiz is coming.
Yeah, so our next episode is presented to us in a quiz. We used to get the quizzes before record. We don't do that anymore because...
You cheat one time.
Yeah, never forgive. Oh, just got it. Okay, so this is our baseline quiz. Oh my gosh. I am so pumped.
I think this is going to be cool.
I see stuff about this all the time. Oh my gosh.
But you're going to want to bundle up for this one because it's going to be cold.
So our baseline quiz and our topic for next episode is Mysteries of Antarctica. Oh, I'm so excited. This is what I wanted. This is it. This is everything.
Oh my God. This is what you wanted?
Yeah. I've been wanting to do Antarctica for a long while. Well, let's just hop right in. So question number 1. What phenomenon originated from a harrowing experience Ernest Shackleton and his crew had in Antarctica? Is it A, alien hand syndrome? A person's hand moves without their control.
That's like the thing from Addams Family.
Yeah. B, walking corpse syndrome. A person holds a delusional belief that they are dead and do not exist.
Oh, I felt that. Mondays, am I right?
C, gapgrass syndrome. A person mistakenly believes another has been replaced by an imposter. Or D, third man syndrome. A person receives comfort and guidance from an unseen spirit or presence.
Oh, I don't like that one.
What do you think?
I don't know. They're all very interesting. I haven't heard of any of them. Third man syndrome seems like, isn't that just religion?
So that's one I have heard of, and it goes beyond religion. So people experience the same person, and they're experiencing it with different religious backgrounds. So that's the one I'm actually going to say.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the correct answer for this and Ernest Shackleton and his crew. I could see paranoia and thinking people were replaced, but that's going to be mine, third man syndrome.
I'm going to say walking corpse syndrome, and I was just, not to say walking again, but walking through what they were experiencing in Antarctica. So like cold, you're completely isolated. Other than being like half frozen to death, there's not a lot of other senses you're receiving, right? So like kind of close to sensory deprivation other than like that feeling of extreme cold because it's white everywhere. You're going to be just surrounded by it. So like there could be that level of delusion where you think I'm not alive and I'm here all by myself.
So you say walking corpse, I say third man. Okay, next question. What mysterious sighting did a Navy whistleblower report while flying over Antarctica? A frozen UFO crash site. B, a 200-foot wide hole. C, a massive frozen sea creature. Or D, a levitating monolith.
Okay.
I say all of them. No, I don't know.
I'm going to say a levitating monolith.
Oh, jeez. You're going to say the worst one?
How's that the worst one?
I don't know. Just something levitating is more crazy than the others, I think.
Crazier than UFO crash site? How would you know if it's a UFO?
That's true.
And 200-foot wide hole? Who knows what that could be? That could be a giant crevasse that unfrozen caveman lawyer fell into.
So you're saying a levitating monolith?
Yep.
I'm going to say a 200-foot wide hole.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Right now, Josh, no wrong answers. We'll find out in a second which ones are wrong.
That's right. All right, next question. What bizarre structure did Spartan 1 claim to encounter near the Beardmore Glacier? A staircase descending deep into the earth.
I don't like that.
B, a massive octagonal building with green interior light and unknown symbols. C, a crashed disc-shaped object with hieroglyphic windows. Or D, a tower that changed shape when approached. Oh.
A couple of these are very much like Stargate situations, especially with hieroglyphs.
Yeah. Man, I just have no idea. I'm going to say a massive octagonal building with the green interior light and unknown symbols.
Okay, I'm going to say a tower that changed shape when approached just to stay in line with my monolith floating.
Okay, next one. What is the mainstream scientific explanation for the pyramid-like mountain peak found in the Ellsworth Mountains of Antarctica? A, it's a nunatak.
Get after it. I have no idea. I've never seen this word before. Nunatak?
A, it's a nunatak sticking out of the ice.
This word is spelled Nunatak.
B, it's a military base designed to look like a mountain. C, it's a symmetrical dormant volcano, or D, it's what remains of an ancient civilization. I'm going to say ancient civilization.
So a mainstream scientific explanation for the pyramid.
Oh, yeah, mainstream. Oh, I'm
I'm
going
going
to
to
say
say
dormant.
dormant volcano.
Yeah, because they're not going to
Jinx.
confess anything.
No, your secrets die inside of a volcano. Just ask Gollum.
Yep, or a scientific community.
Hey,
Those where secrets die. Okay, next one. What was a primary official objective of the massive 1946 U.S. Navy expedition to Antarctica known as Operation High Jump? Is it A, to investigate UFO sightings by Antarctic researchers? B, to find and destroy a secret Nazi base? C, to drill into a subglacial lake and search for prehistoric life? Or D, to train personnel and test military equipment in extreme cold conditions?
what do you think?
Man, I don't know.
I'm going to pick to train personnel and test military equipment in extreme cold conditions. I think that makes the most sense for the primary official objective for the Navy to go there.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to pick too.
The next one, to me, that would seem the most likely is to drill and look for prehistoric life.
Yeah, I could see that one. I was leaning to because the other one, I don't think, I mean, maybe a Nazi base.
The other ones are like high adventure plot lines for like a movie. Is that, of course, a Nazi base is going to be there and we've got to go and wipe them out. You call it like,
Yeah.
I don't know, Dead Snow. Actually, I think that is a Nazi movie, Dead Snow. I think they might have also been zombies.
Sounds like it could be a thing. Okay, last one.
Boy.
Which of these spooky stories has been reported by numerous Antarctic visitors over 100 years? A, sudden snowstorms and being followed by glowing objects. B, tools levitating and flying off tables. C, a dream that everyone shares on the same night. Or D, disembodied voices, knocking, and ghost sightings.
So a couple jump out at me right now. So I know that a lot of the researchers that go down to Antarctica, it becomes very communal and there's a lot of shared experiences. When you're there with a group, you become very close. I think they watch The Thing there, even though The Thing is the other pole, it's Arctic. So I
don't think it's tools levitating.
I don't think it's tools levitating either. I think that it is either a dream that everyone shares on the same night or sudden snowstorms and being followed by glowing objects.
So I'm between those two or the disembodied voices, knocking, and ghost sightings. All three could be a thing.
Sure.
What are you going to pick?
I'm going to go with the dream. I'm going to go with a kind of a wild one.
That is wild.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with disembodied voices and knocking.
Okay.
And ghost sightings. So that is it. We're going to submit our answers and view our accuracy.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Oh, what a stinker. What a stinker of a quiz.
Okay. So,
surprising no one.
What phenomenon originated from a harrowing experience Ernest Shackleton and his crew had in Antarctica? I said third man syndrome.
I said walking corpse.
And third man syndrome is correct. A person receives comfort and guidance from an unseen spirit or presence. Spooky. Okay, next one. What mysterious sighting did a Navy whistleblower report while flying over Antarctica? I said a 200-foot wide hole.
I said levitating monolith. I was wrong.
It was a 200-foot wide hole. So I'm doing good.
You're doing really good.
Next one. What bizarre structure did Spartan 1 claim to encounter near the Beardmore Glacier?
I said a tower that changed shape when approached. That was wrong.
And I said a massive octagonal building with green interior light and unknown symbols.
And?
I was correct.
Uh-huh.
You're not doing too good.
No, I'm doing terrible. I'm doing really bad, and it is affecting my mental health. I really needed this win today, Josh.
I know. Okay, next one. What is the mainstream scientific explanation for the pyramid-like mountain peak found in the Ellsworth Mountains of Antarctica? We both said a symmetrical dormant volcano. That made the most sense. That is incorrect. The correct answer is a nunatak sticking out of the ice.
So, looking up this word,
yeah,
it comes from the Inuit. It's the summit or ridge of a mountain that protrudes from an ice field or glacier that otherwise covers most of the mountain or ridge.
I mean, that is something that the science community would back. I mean, it's not spooky or paranormal. It's not ancient civilization. So we both got that one wrong.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Next question. What was a primary official objective of the massive 1946 U.S. Navy expedition to Antarctica known as Operation High Jump? I said to train personnel. We both said it, right?
Yeah, this is where it finally starts to come around for old Travis, and I start to get a little bit of wind back in my sail. Start to feel good about myself. Picked to train and test military personnel and equipment in extreme cold conditions.
And that is correct.
Yep.
That makes sense.
And then what happens? A pirate jumps onto that sail that just got wind in it and uses a knife that he's carried and slides all the way down, taking all the wind out of my sail for this next one, because I got it wrong.
Yep. Which of these spooky stories has been reported by numerous Antarctic visitors over 100 years?
Mm-hmm.
You said...
A dream that everyone shares on the same night, which I think is very sweet.
It is. Or really creepy. I said disembodied voices, knocking, and ghost sightings.
Mm-hmm.
And that was correct.
That was right.
So I got one wrong.
I got one right.
Oh, man.
Like reverse Josh.
Well, I am really excited about this. I've been wanting to learn and dive in. I've actually, from running the Instagram and following some accounts, I've periodically seen some things. So I think that's maybe why I got some of these right. But I'm excited to dig into all this and learn more. I heard there's like an old treaty that warring countries put together and it's still in place. Well, cool. This is a dream come true. Thank you again for listening. Tell people about it. I hope to hear from you guys.
I hope to hear from you. I think that is the most exciting part of this, is hearing what you guys think. Anyway,
Yeah.
Josh, who do we have to thank?
We have Jordan.
And do we have a new person to thank? Maybe been helping you with a little bit of cutting things together?
Yeah, there's a couple. So someone donated some money to the show. His name is Jeremy.
Woo!
Yeah, thank you so much. And that gave us money to get a temporary editor, Katie. She has been editing some of the episodes that you've been listening to. She's doing a phenomenal job.
So thank you, Jeremy and Katie, for your contributions to the show. It means a lot to us. We're a pretty bare bones operation.
Yeah, and we have no money coming in other than what Jeremy sent, and a decent amount of money coming out. And also, I threw in a link below the fan mail that says that you can support the show, and you can set up monthly contributions if you enjoy what you're doing, or you can just do a one-time donation.
Enjoy what we're doing.
Enjoy what we're doing.
But go ahead and donate to our show if you enjoy what you're doing too.
Yeah, if you enjoy anything at all,
donate.
It would not be a waste.
Makes sense to me. I have to fight back my hand from clicking on that link and donating money.
To yourself?
Yeah, it's just like shaking my own hand.
So we have more than just Jordan to thank, but Jordan also is huge in this whole thing.
Yep.
You heard her in the Battle Aliens episode. She is wonderful, and we could not do this without her.
No, we could not.
Well, next episode, Antarctica, set your calendars.
Yep. Or we'll do it for you. You'll get a notification. As long as you subscribed to this podcast.
Yes.
So do that too.
Yep. All right. Well, we will talk at you next time.
Well, we really don't know how to end a show, do we?
No, we don't.
Oh, boy. Well, we'll work on that. We'll get better at it.
Bye.
Bye.